You don't have to have seen many of my videos or even attended any of our classes to know that I love metaphors. Part of this is just naturally how I process and experience the world. And furthermore, when done well, a metaphor can help people grasp and understand ideas that otherwise might be difficult to comprehend. That said, when using metaphors, you also run the risk of becoming abstract and ethereal, using too much jargon and woo-woo, and people just lose you. And I'm certainly guilty of that, where people have either started to zone out or have been honest enough to tell me that I've lost them. So I admit I'm running a little bit of a slippery slope and tricky line here, where I'm about to use a metaphor to talk about what you can practically and tangibly expect with our upcoming Nature of Leadership training. And the metaphor I want to use is a guidebook, because if you think of any adventure or undertaking you want to embark upon, usually it helps to get some information in advance to familiarize yourself. And this can include a description and explanation of what to expect in the big picture, overview of where you're going, whether that's a travel trip or backcountry adventure. But it also includes make sure to do this, check that out, follow this path, do that, as well as the opposite of that, which is be wary of this, avoid that, keep your eyes out and be on the lookout for this type of danger or pitfall, etc. And so for our upcoming Nature of Leadership training, my hope is that it is a guidebook for change. It has a lot of these key ingredients and components for making change, whether you want that just for your personal life or your work or your community action. And so in terms of what you can tangibly expect from our training, in the first module, I want to offer that big picture description and overview. And the framework we're going to be using is living systems. It is the thread that weaves ecology in the natural world, people, leadership, as well as even just our inner landscapes and our psyche and who we are individually, because living systems is what weaves, as I said, all of that together. And so with that as a framework, we have a much better understanding of what is happening, as well as guidance for how to take action. So in the first module, we're going to be using systems as a map, and both figuratively and immaterially, but also quite practically, we're going to be experientially doing an exercise where you map out some type of system that you're interested in better understanding and taking action with. The other part of the first module is we're going to be looking at, as I referenced with the guidebook, of what to avoid, what to keep our eyes out for that could be a potential pitfall. And these are a series of principles rooted in what we call ego consciousness that can cause problems. We see them at the root of so much of what is ailing our planet and people alike right now. But also these principles can really get in the way of very good intentions and well-meaning and big-hearted efforts that otherwise are meant to cause positive change, but sometimes can be led astray because of these series of principles. So we're going to give you about 5 or 6 of them to start to be on the lookout for if they show up too much as the pitfalls and the warnings that a guidebook would give you indicator of. And then in the second module, we're going to be providing you with the actions, what to do, what to make sure to follow and to keep track of and listen to. And this is a series of principles rooted in psychological biomimicry. They're in those that we find in the natural world that can really be of great benefit. And in particular, these principles you can use for assessment and understanding what's happening in an ecosystem. They can be used for problem solving, designing solutions, and making decisions, because every healthy ecosystem has these principles in play. And so the more you use them to help make your decisions and strategize and design solutions, it's going to benefit you. But it's also good once you've come up with your ideas and action plans for how to implement them. And so if this sounds too good to be true, I invite you to think about the natural world, that it is constantly self-organizing and evolving and adapting and innovating and creatively coming up with solutions for the adversity that the natural world faces, be that human caused or that just naturally occurs. And so we're going to try and use this as our inspiration to help people make change, be that change in their own lives, in their own psyche, or in their community involvement, in their work, or just in their social lives. And so I'm really looking forward to sharing these maps and these toolkits with people in really concrete terms, though admittedly I'll probably still end up using some metaphor. So if you're interested, please check out our website to get some more information, learn how you can register, get some answers to commonly asked questions. And if we aren't able to answer our questions through our website, by all means, reach out and let us know. I'm happy to make sure that we provide you tangible information to help you decide if this is the program for you. So either way, I send my very best wishes. As always, be well. Nature knows the way.